absolutely buckled here. Look at that, he's buckled. That's a joy to see, sir. That's a joy to see, it really is. These Carasinians are going to be a problem for us. Let's break this flag, gentlemen. Let's break it. Greetings and welcome to episode 132 of my Empire Total War Darth mod USA campaign. And this, my friends, where I left it last time, where we have been slowly but surely chipping away the outer defences here of Munich, the last bastion here of German power within the West. It really is and has been an absolute brutal war with the Germans. They have fought us to a standstill for many a year, for nearly 40 years I would say. We've been fighting the Germans a long time, but last we are within a cat's whisker of being able to take Munich, the last great production and indeed military and economic centre for the Germans anywhere. They do still have a swathe of forces here, and also they're using their sort of territories within Russian territories to sort of still be able to take the fight to us. But once we've taken Munich, we'll have essentially captured the majority of Western Europe for ourselves. Of course, there is still the fight with the Balkans to take place. We have effectively sealed off the Adriatic Sea. We do, of course, here have the Venetians, who are, for some strange reason, now deciding that they want to move, and it's been very strange here. But they do have a massive force here, which a lot of problems for us. Indeed, the Spanish here, who are almost at full strength here, apart from this army here, we are looking at a very rampant, almost Spanish. I mean, look at that there, that cluster there. That's two army groups. That is not to be sniffed at all. It really isn't. However, we shall not be undermining or underperforming our own forces here. We really have got some wonderful forces here on this front. As you can see, a lot of them having to be replenished and repaired. Excuse me, my friends. So we're really having to sort of bring all the forces we can. Now, a number of these forces are going to have to be retrofitted. The council has asked us for them to be retrofitted. We will, of course, be retrofitting some of these armies that aren't up to full strength in terms of the full military might we can bring. As you can see here, we've still got a regiment of horse here. We're going to have to bring heavy cavalry into here in this army in Dresden. We've got this army here, but oh, look at that. That's sort of that really is an army we are starting to put together here. As you can see, we're starting to put 24 pounders into position here. A number of these armies, as you can see, have been in some real brutal fights. So making sure we've got everything up to full speed here. Particularly when we are, dare I say it, in a sort of a... It's more of a sort of a phony war with Spain. It's more we're just sort of waiting to see what each other's does. Now we do have the Baltic Sea thankfully fully in our grasp. Courland, of course, we are at peace with Courland. Russia, however, have been very, very quiet of late. Is that a prelude to something? Whom knows? Now, of course, we have also given up the Don here to the French, which has sort of pushed back these armies. Look at all these German armies here, an absolute swathe of them here. We are, of course, also fighting the Ottomans, another war, and the Mamelukes as well. We are at war with the vast majority of the world, we really are. It's only because of our sheer military might we were able to hold them back, and indeed our naval forces who are doing a valiant job. They really are. We've got this force here, but we need to get these gentlemen up to full strength, because I've got a feeling we're going to need them sooner rather than later. We've also tried and get these forces into place here, so we can, as you can see, this needs retrofitting. We've got this army here as well. Again, which are what we're going to be sending into Ankara here. We're going to try and put an end to the what remains of the Ottomans here. They've only got Tbilisi and Armenia. We are sending this force here to deal with the Mamelukes. Once that's gone, hopefully the Mamelukes will collapse. We're at peace with the Persians. I think pretty much the only nation we are at peace with. We're at war also with the Mughal Empire. So as you can see, my friends, you know, we are absolutely tied down in every single theatre of operations. We really are. Oh, look at that. We haven't upgraded that. So we can definitely upgrade that. That's something we've missed there. But we need to every single coin we get. As you can see, we're just barely making a profit here. Look at this. Look at the army upkeep. 322,000 gold per year. It is staggering. It really, really is. Look what we're at war with. All of these forces we're at war. We've got allies of Britain and Norway. We've got some good trade partners. But Britain hasn't really dipped its toe into any of these wars. It's sort of an ally of ours, but it doesn't really want to get its hands dirty, as it were. However, the Norwegians are, you know, even though they're a very small nation, they really are putting themselves about a bit, so we've got to give them credit where credit is due. They don't have the finest of forces, but they'd still give a good fight. I wonder if we could send them something as a token, just to let them know that we are. Let's see. They've got everything. They're very friendly with us. Might send them some money, I think, just to help them along here. Genoa is hostile. Barbary States is indifferent. We don't want to have trade with them. Spain is hostile. I wonder if they would take trade. No. That doesn't look good there either. I suppose Sweden, unless we get some trade with Sweden. No, not interested at all. We're friendly with France, but they don't have any ports. That's the problem with France. They've got nothing where they can trade from, which is a little bit of a problem. We do have the Adriatic under our control. I think what we will do is we'll actually put this fleet here into repair and replenish. Because it really has been at the vanguard of the fighting. So this one will have to be done later on at some point.
Ship's orders.
3,000, that's okay. That's okay. We've just got to get this up and running here. We've got these armies here as well. For some reason that army there is not
in position. Troops.
It's not landing at all, which is fine. We'll have to make sure that happens there. There was a call for us to actually help Athens as well, help Greece out, which we might try and do, but they've been under a brutal battle. I mean, look at that. Trying to break into Istanbul is going to be an absolute... Well, it's going to be as hard as you can possibly imagine. We are trying to reinforce. We're trying to put... I think we might put a strike group here to try and deal with some of these forces here.
Onward. More orders. At the ready.
And these gentlemen do need to be replenished and repaired here. Particularly this regiment here by the looks of things, but what we will do is we'll just move them to here.
Can't do that, sir.
I think we'll end the turn. There's not a lot else we can do. We could move into here, but at the moment, let's have a look at this army here. As you can see, that's replenishing. Now, they've also called for us to give Stuttgart to the Spanish to actually help alleviate any sort of ill will they have towards us. But we might just hold off on that. It is an excellent idea. However, we might just hold off on that until they go to war with us. It might be something we can use in a negotiation for peace, because Stuttgart isn't really important in terms of its value to us. But strategically, though, it is an absolute linchpin here on the Western Front. This sort of this is the bulge within the sort of the Spanish lines here, as you can see. So it sort of bulges the Spanish lines inwards. Also, we've been called for us to ask us to move a spy into Venice as well to see what's been going on with the Venetians here, and also into the Balkans, into Transylvania as well. I think what we will do is just move the spy here, just so we've got that forward intel, just in case they move against us. We've also been called on us to move the spy into Transylvania to see what's up here. Can we actually go around? We can here.
Stealth is my shield. Going to ground.
Just so we can know what, and also we don't know what's down here either. But what we are going to do is we're trying to destroy these outer defences here they've sort of established. And here, but the problem is if we attack this army here, it'll have a domino effect. So in other words, it'll draw this army in. This army then will in turn draw these armies in. Now I know that's not a bad thing. As you can see, a number of our armies do need to replenish and repair here. We've also got a fight in the Balkans, which is brewing quite quickly. We do have the Marine Expeditionary Force moving. We need to move in here. Look at that. So this army needs to be moved in as well. It's going to be the battering ram into the Balkans. So what we are going to do is we're going to end the turn here. We've got all the research we can possibly get. Our income is not of the finest, shall we say. But we're just about keeping ourselves above, look at that, 85% popularity. Wow. That's being hit here in India for some reason. Persia is being hit. So that means we've also got Ceylon here with an army here. But if we're at war with the Mughal Empire, we don't want one of these armies leapfrogging into Ceylon and taking it from us. 2067. Let's end the turn, my friends. And I think we've just... That's a pretty good fleet there. For some reason we've got... Look at that Admiral there, Admiral Bryant. This army's... Yes, that's got an Admiral there as well. Admiral... It's a steamship as well. We've also got Cairo as well. Once we rid ourselves of the Mamelukes, these armies should disappear, which will give us access to here. We might just simply steamroll into here. Replenishing as well. Here we've got Grenadier Guards in this particular formation. We have had a battle here as well. Ideally we should remove these Ottoman forces bit by bit. It feeds into a larger chain here, 13,000 coming from here. From the Italian states. Wow, that's a lot. That feeds into here. There's 15,000 going into here. That should feed into here. That's a lot. That's a lot of money there coming in there. 49,000 here for the United States, running into these ports, into Courland, which we do have a good trade system with here as well, and also with Russia. That's a lot of money there we have with Russia. Let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what comes our way. What will be... But it will we. Now Britain really stepped into the fight, as it were, but what will France do? Will France actually do something? Now that is odd. Now what will Germany do indeed? What will their response be to what we've done? So now he's trying to move down through the Balkans. They're trying to move past the Balkans here. We don't want to draw these forces in. Mind you, he's probably going to try and assault us here. How could he possibly get past here? No, we've got to take this fight. We've got to intercept this. We can't allow these armies to meet up. This is what I mean. They're trying to break this line we've established here from behind. We've got plenty of forces in situ here. But ideally what we do need to do, I'll just put the gentleman in here first. General Beckham. Got General Hoover. General Bigig. We have General Hoover, who's been with us a long time, but that's a lot of guns. We don't need that many guns in situ. I think, in fact, the original general we had here, General Beckham. Good grief, that's a lot of cavalry. Let's get the cavalry into position here. We've also got the Swiss Grenadiers. We've got 12-pounders. Hessian Jaeger. But they've also got 3 conscripts. Are they starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel here in terms of the quality? Not just the quantity, but the quality of troops they're able to field. As you can see, not of the finest horse and cavalry, but it's enough to deal with this probably here. We've got 2 regiments of howitzers. Again, we don't need artillery coming into the field first. And the same here, so let's just readjust the army here. Our cavalry first. Bring on our skirmishers, Georgias, or Jaegers. Right, let's take this fight. We can't allow those German forces to move behind our lines here. We have to hold them. We have to hold them here. And we will hold them here. They're trying to break into the Balkans from behind our lines. Can't have that. We cannot have that. Okay. So straight away we've got this town here, this village. Almost a hamlet. Our deployment zone is very small here. The width-wise it is very small, but depth-wise it is pretty large. But this is going to be a problem here. So we're going to have to fight forward of this village. Mind you, look at the size. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Is that the real depth of our... Surely not. I thought not. But where are they where is... Oh, this is a strange one right here. There must be to this side here. Where's the deployment zone? There it is, there it is, there. Almost caught on the hop there by these gentlemen facing this direction. That is very, very odd. I think we'll move away from the village here. We'll take the fight on this particular flank here, the left flank. Right, let's straight away bring our guns to bear here. I think we'll set them far forward here. Gotta watch out for this rock here. This will be... Look how many men are in this here. 184 and 161 howitzers. That is insane. They can fight. They will definitely stand toe to toe in a fight. Now, I think we'll have this regiment here. Now, as you can see, we don't have any numbered regiments yet. We've got so many regiments. We've run out of numbers. But this regiment is a very, as you can see, an experienced, a battle-hardened regiment. It's going to stand in the vanguard of the defence there. The same can be said for this regiment here as well. Always looking for that experience up front and centre, just to give us that extra anchor in defence, because they're going to come for us. We might even put a strike team together just to hit them on the flanks if possible. But a solid defence is always necessary, it really is. Now, let's put these gentlemen on quicklime. I believe the quicklime should... Yeah, just about here. We'll put them on round shot for the time being, then it's a little bit more... I'll put them on quicklime. Let's see how they work here. Let's just get these gentlemen here, these cavalry. Look at this forest here. What a wonderful place to strike. You've got this sort of... The topography here of this battlefield really is undulating. You sort of dips down here into this sort of larger sort of valley almost. Then up again, then down again, then back up again here. The topography here really is all over the place. You've got this step system here as well coming out of the ground here. You've got the village sort of holding your sort of right flank almost at bay, because you can't really fight in this village. It doesn't really lend itself to fighting in the open. But it might be a good place to launch an attack from, because our deployment zone is huge. So we might even be able to strike from here, using the village as sort of a bait almost to draw them in. Got this regiment here, I think, which we'll put on the right flank here, sort of just in, almost into the village here. Again, we need these regiments to hold firm here. I think we've got the majority. We have got all of our, apart from these gentlemen here, which we'll put on the left flank here. So we've got our most experienced forces in defence. And I know a member of some of the council will be saying, well, Mally, shooting them in the attack. But the attack is more to draw the firepower away from a particular flank for the Germans. The Germans will attack us regardless, but it's almost a feint. The attack on their flank by our troops is almost a feint. It's to draw off their resources. It's to draw off their firepower, so that when they hit the front line, they effectively haven't got that full impact available to them. Now, I think we'll put this regiment here. Again, as you can see, the village is going to give us a little bit of trouble here, but it'll also, if we use it to our advantage, to be honest, we could probably strike using 2 strike teams. We can have 3 regiments on the left, striking from the forest here, because look at the size of this forest. But the forest here, this forested area, really is a wonder. It's going to give, look at that, it's going to give us plenty of coverage here. Look at that, not a clue where we're going. Look at that. So actually, I think we'll set them much closer to the front lines here. And again, the cavalry, we can either pack, gentlemen. We've got General Boehm here, who's going to be here. You've got to remember, they do have their own fire support as well. Now, I think we'll keep our cavalry into two different regiments here, both hidden, and 2 on the right as well. that even distribution here of forces. We've got to hit them hard here, so we're gonna come right on the extreme right here. As you can see, with the outhouses, we're going to come on this flank here, and that's going to be joined by 3 additional regiments here. So these 3 regiments are going to take the vanguard here. Now there is no hidden and deployment here, but we are going to keep 1 regiment just in reserve, which I always do like to have 1 regiment at least in reserve, in case something unexpected comes out of the woodwork. And believe me, 9 times out of 10 it usually does. We've got 2 strike teams left and right. We've got a strong defensive position here. Well, not plenty, but we've got a good fire support here. Let's take the fight. We've got to crush these German forces in now. They're trying to get in around us here to try and break into the Balkans, to join up with the forces that are already there. We can't allow that. We have to keep this gap closed. Let's begin. There they are. Oh, they've got that on the flank there, so we've got to cut. Now this defence is going to take a real pounding here. We've just got to hold. As you can see here, it's going to take a bit of a pounding, so we've just got to hold here. Militias, that's a weak flank there, and conscripts. That's perfect for the. Let's push hard here. Hard and aggressive. Double time. Remember, we've got the United States effectively against 5 major nations. That's not a lie at all. Got to get these German forces on the back foot here. We have to. My goodness me, the number of resources we've thrown at this war has been extraordinary. Oh, the cities of Swiss Grenadiers have to be taken down here. As I said, we're in the war now, my friends. We really are in the war now. Breaking here. Well done, gentlemen. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. My compliments to the chef, sir. Try and anchor this flank here. We've got to hold this flank open here. They're shattered. don't just stroll, gentlemen. This is not a Sunday stroll. Move. We've got to turn this on this flank now. Got to break this flank here. We've got to break it quickly, gentlemen. Get in behind them. Get in behind them. Don't get bogged down, gentlemen. Don't get bogged down. They've gone. They've broken. They were in there for far too long. Let's clear these conscripts out. Square! God, they're throwing everything at us here. Everything they've got at us here. Right, damn, what a fight this is here. We're in the fight of our lives here, my friends. I kid you not. Germans are throwing everything they can at us here to try and break open this corridor into the Balkans. We've got to keep this Balkans door closed. It has to be shut. If they get in behind us here and they start harassing us, those German forces in the Balkans could push in and open up behind us. We've got to keep this closed here, this door. Right, damn, they're throwing the kitchen sink at us here. Here comes another lot here. My goodness me. We should see reinforcements appearing anytime soon. Break your fields. No, leave none alive. Leave none alive, sir. We have to be absolutely without mercy here. Swing, gentlemen. Swing around here. Got to take care of these forces here. That's it. They're going to break. They're wavering. They're wavering. That's it, they're throwing everything here to try and keep this open here. Come on, gentlemen, get into position here. There'll be a court-martial. There it is, there it is. General Bigig coming in here, but he's not needed. Just got to remain calm here behind enemy lines. Oh my goodness, we've been absolutely swamped there. That is, look at that, they've just been broken. I mean, that 160th had no chance there at all. Next time we pulled in this gentleman here, this regiment here. What the blazes? They've come back, which is good to see. Let's put these gentlemen into position here. Has this flank been rolled up yet? Jaegers. Get in there, gentlemen. Get rid of them. Get rid of them now. Yeah, they've broken this flank. This flank is completely gone here. They've absolutely just smashed their way through it. We've lost a lot of good men here for this, but we've just got to commit the fight here. Push onwards, gentlemen. Turn and take the fight, turn and take the fight. Into them, lads, into them. If you want to fight, then we'll oblige. Gentlemen, I can promise you a court-martial will be in the offing here at this slow pace here. Let's get in there, let's get in there, lads. What are you doing? This village is giving us all kinds of problems here. Get rid of their artillery. There's these stakes here. Square. Oh, look at that. Those stakes have absolutely butchered us here. Come on now, lads. Reshuffle those lines. Look at that, what an absolute wonder of a shot there, sir. Shattered, everybody shattered here. Yep, they've gone. They've broken, they've had enough. That's it, we've broken it, we've broken them, sir. Yes. What a fight that was. Now that was a fight. You can see. Ooh, we lost 1,020. Not too bad, but they lost. Look at that. Lost nearly 3,000 men. 234 men left. That's an army dispensed with. Look at that regiment of horse. Did a wonderful job. Pushed away. To deal with that, we don't want them loitering about here. We always thought they might try and break in via that route there. Now they're trying. Are they consolidating around Munich? Or are they pulling out of Munich? Ah. They're holding us, they're actually reinforcing the Balkans here. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, gentlemen. They're actually reinforcing the Balkans here. That's an interesting... Now would you look at that? We could deal with this force here once and for all. This army's not in the best of strength either. We could intercept, but I think we need to deal with these forces here once and for all. Get rid of these forces. Let's take the fight. Let's take the fight. We cannot allow these forces to be loitering about. Where's that army going? Where is it going? We cannot afford to find out. We have to put our foot down on the neck here of the Germans and put our authority on the Western frontier once and for all. Let's take the fight to them again. And again and again and again if necessary. We shall not yield a single foot of land here, I can assure you. Far too many lives have been given. Far too much gold has been spent to get us where we are at the moment here. Now, it's our deployment zone. massive either. Topography as well is flat. Oh, again we put in, I'd say this is a town here, not a village, a town here on our right flank. Again, look at that there. That's going to be nigh on impossible to breach that hill there. We've got to take the fight. And we've got reinforcements coming in as well, so we've got to be wary here. Now, let's pull. Let's get this properly set up here, because we don't know where the reinforcements are going to be coming from. So we've got to be prepared for all eventualities. This force is all we've got in this particular location here. To use these forces to the utmost capacity here. Regiment of horse. We're going to allow them to come on to us here. I think we're going to hold a very, I think we'll pull over just slightly here to the left. Wait a minute. This fire support is going to be absolutely vital to us. We've got 3 regiments here, not at full strength, but still, what we have lost here, we compensate with 36 men here for some reason. I have no idea why. We've got General Ali here, who will be just behind here, keeping an eye on things, making sure. We've got full regiments of horse, which is excellent. We've got to have a very strong defence here. Oh, look at that, we've got some real combat experienced troops here, particularly this regiment here, which is going to be sat right to the vanguard of the defence here, but it is weakened. Only 143 men, so I think the compensate will have this regiment here very close indeed, to almost give it that full complement. We shall anchor the left and right flank with full complement regiments here. Remember that they have reinforcements, we don't. But this army outnumbers them and their reinforcements. Again, we have to hold this flank open. We have to hold this, or should I say, we have to close the door here and keep the door shut. th Regiment, I think we'll put the 68th on the left here. We have the 42nd Regiment on the right. Now ideally we'd like to keep some reserves here. We'll keep the cavalry, we'll keep the 16th Regiment of Cavalry here on the right, and the 21st on the left. 46th Regiment we'll have here. A little bit too far away from the main line here. Perfect there on the left. Right. We might be able to form a reserve of our own here. We'll have the 54th Regiment on the right. Just slightly angle them here. Remember, this will actually protect our right flank because it will break up any deployments. So will this hill here. We've got a very long defence here, which is excellent to see. We'll keep some of these in reserve. Always good to have a reserve, just in case you're caught on the hop. That's 225 men here. Actually, I think we'll complete this line here by doing thus. That's a full defence. We've also got these regiments in reserve. They can and will be used if necessary. 113th, snap bang in the middle here. Then the 50th, and this regiment then will be on the right, in case they're needed. Right, I think we're now ready for whatever comes our way. Let's put an end to this. Let's put an end to this. There it is, and there's the reinforcements coming over from over here. Let them come for us. Let them come for us, sir. Let's give them what for. Give them what for, gentlemen. Give them what for. Show them the United States will not be... Oh, look at that. My compliments to the chef, sir. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, that's going to hurt in the morning, that is. We've got these coming in on the flanks here. So we're going to start positioning these regiments here to protect these flanks here. I can assure you we're not going to be caught absolutely with our trousers down here. If they want to fight, then we'll oblige. We will oblige. Double time, that's double time. Hold those lines, hold those lines. Sharpshooters. These Grenadier Guards have to be hit. That's a full regiment of cavalry. There it is. We've just got those just in time there. Steady. Just as well we anchored this flank, just as well we anchored. We've got to hold the square here, we've got to hold these squares. That fire support is going to be vital. We're going to close the door here, we're actually going to swing the door shut here. Or are they going to move against us here? Looks like they're going to move against this flank. No, they're not. So we're going to close, we're going to sort of swing the door here. Thus. Oh, look at that, we got them. Get into those. Push them back, lads. Push them back. Get out of square. Get out of square. Don't give them any leeway. Don't give them any leeway, lads. Leave them shattered. Let's deal with their artillery. Okay, well done. Oh, look at that, right to our flanks here. Get in the square, gentlemen. Here they come. Breach loaders, it's going to be absolute brutes. Ooh. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get, sir. Straighten that line, gentlemen. Look lively. Get into the square. Ooh, guards. See how well they do against a charge in the rear. that wonderful uniform. That defensive line has got to hold here. Hit them in the flank, lads. Keep moving, keep moving. To see, oh look at that, they've been hit pretty hard there. Yes, we've got them, well done. Chase them down, give them no leverage. I was also chase down that artillery. Gentlemen, into formation if you would please. I think we'll also be moving up. Let's close the door. Double time. What a bloodbath, yeah, look at that. Took on this, they were Grenadier Guard dragoons. They weren't messing about there. That was a wonderful display there. Take them apart, lads, take them apart. Oh, they've had enough, they've had enough. Can't allow them to break through these lines here. Wow, 2 regiments of Grenadier Guards, wow. That's why this line's been so tough to break. Notice they haven't broken at all. Oh, what a shot by compliment to the chef, sir. Keep pouring fire on that. Fire! Fire! Reload them. Fire! First rank. Come on, lads, reload now. Second rank. Fire! First rank. Fire! Second rank. Fire! Come on, lads. Cease. Take care of these Grenadier Guards. We've got to go to these gentlemen. They're shattered as well. They're shattered. Yes! We've broken them. What a fight that was. Look at that. My goodness me, they threw everything out at us then. But we did not move not even a foot back. That's what I mean, not a foot back there. Look at that. We still lost 789 men here, but they lost almost all of their men. They've been absolutely decimated here. Look at that. Line infantry did a wonderful job there. Regiment of Horse doing its job as well. Wonderful. Now that's going to help. That's going to hurt the defence of Munich here. We could actually move. Oh dear, where are you going, sir? I think they're pulling back to the Balkans here. Knights of St. John, Naples and Sicily, Mughal Empire, Afghanistan, Ottomans. Nothing from the Ottomans yet. Wait a moment. Italian states, Russia won't do. Ah. Cry havoc, my friends, and let slip the dogs of war. Oh, war with Russia. Oh, what an absolute That came right out of the blue here. Is that because they're allies with Germany? That's the reason why they're coming to the Germans' aid. I tell you, man, I don't mind that. I live for this type of fight. I really do. Up against it now. We're up against 5 of the largest empires on the planet. We really are up against it now. Let's take that fight. We'll call on Norway and Britain to help us here. Wow. War with Russia. Never saw that coming at all. But none of their allies have joined them, if you notice. But ours have. That says it all. That says it all right there. Now, gentlemen, they've got a few armies. I know they've got a massive armies in the Crimea. I do worry about Sweden, though. That could be a problem for us. That's a lot of forces. That is a lot of forces. I think we've got to reorganize our forces here, because we could see a big push coming from the east, and we don't have many forces. All our forces are in the west. We might have to reorganize here. Maybe pull 2 or 3 army groups away from the west. Don't do it, Spain. If Spain does that as well. If Spain declares war, then we really are up against it. I kid you not, my friends. No, not Sweden. Don't do it, Sweden. Have hit the British lines there as well. That's going to hurt our trade with them as well. We could see ourselves in a lot of trouble here. Even possible bankruptcy. Venice as well, sir. Yeah, it was obvious we were going to lose that, but we had to give them a bit of a bloody nose there, just to let them know they weren't going to be taking those ships. Not a chance. Not a chance of allowing those gentlemen out. We lost no ships at all. No, I think we'll take the money.
Ready and waiting.
Looks like the Venetians wanted to move out. We weren't going to allow them. Here we go. Are we now going to be facing... Yeah, we are. We are going to be facing a massive Venetian force as well. Good grief. I think I have to call on the council here for some reorganisation plans here. We have to reorganise our forces. We can no longer afford to commit these forces to the west. Not in this capacity anymore. I think we have to take care of Munich as soon as possible, and then we have to redeploy our forces here, because we are now up against, if Spain declares war upon us, we could find ourselves in a lot of trouble here. We're bankrupt. Minus 16,000. Wow.
Harvesting supplies.
I think what we're going to have to do is, without a shadow of a doubt, is deal with these.
See prizes for the taking.
What? Why? Oh, that army's on there.
The oceans are ours. Orders. Officer on deck. Aye, aye, Captain.
Minus 23,000. That is ridiculous. That means with Russia at war with us. We do have a lot of armies here. We've got a lot of fleets as well. I think we're going to have to go through a massive reorganisation here, because we're going to start to lose a lot of troops here. A lot of troops. After all this time, we cannot allow this to be the last sort of action here with us. What's that? 14,000 there if we take Munich. I think we're just going to have to dive in and take Munich here.
Sir.
We've got no choice.
Orders, sir.
But take Munich. We've just got to move against them. We have to move against them and take Munich.
Sir. Your orders?
That's a strong defensive force they've got
Sir.
there.
Make ready. At the ready. Ready and awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
If we take Munich, it will do us some good there. I wonder how if we can get Russia back on side here. We'll probably have to offer them something here to get them back on side. I wonder if we offer them Ankara. We might be able to give them Ankara. I wonder if that'll give Russia, buy us some time with Russia. That means we'll have all these troops here with Patras. Now I know Ankara, because we're surrounded here and all these forces are tied up, we could do with these forces elsewhere. I wonder if we give them Ankara for peace. Cancel that there. That gives us 6,000 here at least. And all these forces would then go to Moria. We did have them all freed up. We could probably strike against the Germans here and this flank here, which is what we need to do.
Ready and awaiting orders.
I think I'm going to leave the council to decide this. If we give Russia Ankara, because it's only bringing 4,559, and we can try and get some trade with them back again. What's the... It's minus 279. They don't like us at all, do they? I wonder if we get peace with the Ottomans. Let's try and get peace with the Ottomans. No. Oh my goodness me. That war with Russia really has set us on the back foot here, because we've lost this income here. And conquering one of these will not just merely replace what we lost either. We need to take Munich as quickly as possible, I think, as well.
Sir. Ready and awaiting orders. By the left. March. At the ready. Forward. March. Ready for order. Not possible, sir.
Munich has to fall, but they're going to pull in the Venetians here as well. That's going to be a real bugbear for us. We've got a lot of ships, a lot of armor. We're going to have a complete reorganization here. And we're going to have to probably give... I wonder if we give Ankara to the Russians. Now I'm going to probably do this... I'll wait for the council's advice here. Do we give Ankara to the Russians to try and get peace? They might take this because, I mean, it's not bringing a lot of money in for us. I mean, the regional growth is quite large here. If we give this to the Russians for peace and re-establish trade, it will then free up all these forces that are effectively tied down here. I mean, imagine having them unleashed. We could probably move against the Germans in the Balkans here in a huge sway then, and finally rid ourselves of this German menace that's tied us down for so long. And then we can looks like Russia is obviously going to be an enemy of ours. But I'm going to wait for the council's advice. We're not going to panic here. We are in bankrupt now because we have lost we've lost 50,000 in trade from the Russians effectively. That's what's hit us the worst, the hardest, is that we've lost that trade there. That really has kicked us hard there. I wonder if we can just... Hasn't helped either, has it really? Let's see if we can hit some of these trade lines here now.
Take ready. Prepare for action. Ship shape and Bristol fashion.
That's helping. We've got to hit these trade lines.
Enemy sail. Drawn up the colors.
It's working just about here.
Still ship shape.
It's coming down slowly, but
Ready for action. Clear away and make ready. Orders, Captain. All hands make ready. Ready. Officer on deck.
actually it's gone up to 23,000. We're actually hurting ourselves by doing that now. We're probably drawing off way too much money there from everybody else.
Set sail. Where to, Captain? Underway. Orders, Captain. Ship's orders, Captain. Aye, aye, sir. Set sail.
So we'll hit that route there. I wonder what happens if we hit this route
Ship
here
shape and crystal fashion, Captain.
directly.
Any orders?
Not much changes there, to be honest with you.
Ready for action.
I think we're going to pull in a fleet
Orders.
and effectively blockade this here.
Ship's orders, Captain.
We'll try. Right, I'm going to wait for the council's advice here, but we are in trouble. And there's no point in trying to say otherwise. Because we are in a lot of trouble. We've got to take Munich. If we can take Munich, it will help a huge amount with this here. We might even have to disband some armies here as well. Because we've got an absolute massive army. So I'm going to wait for the council's advice here. But, my friends, I'm going to leave this episode where it is now. I'm going to leave it in your capable hands. You can let me know what you think I should do here, because I'm going to need the council's advice here. I'm thinking about giving Ankara to the Russians for peace and then getting a trade with them again. And then, hopefully, we can use these forces to attack the Germans here, deal with the Russian threat once the German threat once for all. Then we'll then take the fight to the Russians. I think that's going to be the best option for us. But my goodness me, we're in a sticky situation now. We thought it was plain sailing, but far from. We've also got Venice as well, which we could maybe even use these forces to break into Venice and just absolutely go hammer and tong into Venice and get rid of these gentlemen as well. What will that bring in? That's 10,000. They're not a huge amount. And also, they're bankrupt as well. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, please keep your comments coming down below. As always, they are absolutely fantastic. They really, really are. But thank you all, my friends, for your wonderful support and advice. As always, it really does mean a lot to me. But I hope you've enjoyed it. But until next time, my friends, please be safe whatever you're doing. But until then, bye for now.